One of my favorite tropes in any type of fictional story, whether that be anime, manga, comic books, book series, you name it, is the trope of the strongest. I don't know what it is about it, but there is just something about a character being above everyone else in their verse that is just appealing to me. And today, I decided to take two very prominent figures of this trope from two different anime and manga series and compare them to see who represents strength better. As you probably already guessed from the thumbnail of this video, the two characters that I will be comparing are Yoriichi from Demon Slayer and the infamous Gojo Satoru from Jujutsu Kaisen. The debate about which one of these two represents strength better has been going on for a while, so I thought to give my own say on the matter. Now, before we dive right into this, I know that a lot of people are going to misinterpret this video, and I just need to clarify. This video is not talking about who is stronger between Yoriichi and Gojo. That is a whole different matter of discussion. This video is simply addressing which one of these two characters is a better representation of strength. Which one embodies the definition of strength more and being the strongest. So with that out of the way now, let's dive right into this. And the first character I want to analyze is Gojo Satoru. I don't think I've seen one character be stated to be the strongest in the story as many times as Gojo has. And it's honestly crazy. We have so many examples of Gojo just outright being labeled the strongest and showing that he is above everyone else. When all the Jujutsu High students are asked what their opinion is of Gojo, they all give very different answers. Some consider him to be annoying, some consider him to be a mentor, but one thing they all agreed on is the fact that Gojo is the strongest, and that's where that iconic panel comes from. Gojo, while fighting Toji, states that he is alone the honored one, implying that Gojo alone stands at the very top above everyone else. Even Geto, Gojo's best friend, acknowledges Gojo to be the strongest after his fight with Toji, and he realizes that despite both of them being considered the strongest at one point or another, Geto was left behind at that point. During the Shibuya arc incident, after Gojo uses his 0.02 second domain, the story literally states after the deactivation of the domain by the hands of the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer alive. So, once again, the story is just trying to drill in this idea that Gojo is the strongest. He alone is at the very top. During his fight with Sukuna, the narrator again states that Gojo is the strongest sorcerer of today. The story even states that when Gojo was born, the balance of the world completely shifted. I mean, how can you not be the strongest if you are shifting the entire balance of the world with just your existence? I mean, Gojo was so strong that the author had to write Gojo out of the story so that the story progresses some bit. That's why Gojo was sealed for nearly 3 years following the Shibuya incident. It's because if Gojo was there, the story would have just stopped. But that's enough with Gojo for now. Let's talk about Yoriichi. And with Yoriichi, there is definitely not as many statements and showcases of him being the strongest. At least not as many as Gojo. Yoriichi is definitely not a main character in the Demon Slayer series the same way as Gojo is. He barely gets shown at all throughout the series, and that's because he lived hundreds of years before the story actually took place. So we rarely get to see Yoriichi other than flashbacks, but those few moments that we do see Yoriichi, we understand that he is the strongest. There is no debate about that when we see what this guy is capable of. The first time we ever see a glimpse of Yoriichi is when Muzan, the king of demons, starts having flashbacks of him fighting Yoriichi and being defeated by him. And this was simply after seeing Tanjiro's earrings. I mean, at that point we already knew that Yoriichi was something else. The fact that Muzan was having entire flashbacks and breakdowns at the sight of similar earrings went to show that Yoriichi really did a number on the King of Demons. However, we didn't really know how much of a number Yoriichi actually did until we saw a flashback of him fight Muzan, and we've seen a lot of one-sided and unfair matchups in anime and manga. This might have been one of the worst. So Muzan, King of Demons, may I remind you, strongest demon in all of existence, confronts Yoriichi. Yoriichi analyzes Muzan using the see-through world, sees that Muzan has 5 brains and 7 hearts. Muzan unleashes the first attack, and in a single swing, Muzan is cut into several pieces and is on the floor, defeated, with Yoriichi towering over him. Muzan, realizing that he can no longer regenerate and he has been humiliated and utterly defeated by Yoriichi in a single slash, decides to scatter his body into 1,800 pieces. However, even when he does that, Yoriichi manages to cut 1,500 of those pieces instantaneously. So Muzan just barely manages to escape with his life. May I remind you that this is the same Muzan that took on all of the Hashiras with their marks, took on Tanjiro, took on Inosuke, Zenitsu, Kano, and the rest of the Demon Slayer Corps. And the thing was, they didn't even beat Muzan through sheer strength. They just had to stay alive long enough for the sun to kill Muzan. They themselves couldn't kill him. That's how powerful Muzan was. And yet we have Yoriichi, who was able to take Muzan on and defeated him by himself in less than 3 pages, without even breaking a sweat or having a single scratch on him. Think about just how far above Yoriichi is compared to everyone else. The only other time we see a true showcase of Yoriichi's strength is during Kokoshibo's flashback, where he talks about how he encountered his brother Yoriichi when Yoriichi was already over 80 years old. We can see that he is an old man at this point, and Kokoshibo thinks that this is about to be a walk in the park. He is about to absolutely destroy Yoriichi limb from limb, considering how old he is, and he's not dumb to assume this. Obviously, Yoriichi would probably be weaker considering that he's older. No, that is the exact opposite of what this situation was. The second Yoriichi decides to get serious, Kokoshibo literally feels his aura. He says it's as if the rocks had come to rest on both shoulders, with the weight of the air increased due to the aura of intimidation, and there wasn't even an opening in Yoriichi's stance. And in the very next moment, Yoriichi draws first blood, landing a blow on Kokoshibo that Kokoshibo couldn't even react to. And Kokoshibo quickly realizes that an 80-year-old Yoriichi is leagues above him, and he goes on to state that he was sure that the next blow Yoriichi would deal out would chop his head off. Basically, he was certain that he was about to lose the fight to an 80-year-old Yoriichi. But fortunately for Kokoshibo, Yoriichi ended up dying standing due to old age. And this is Kokoshibo, the one that fought the strongest Hashira, the second strongest Hashira, Muichiro, and Genya all together. He was about to get absolutely annihilated by an 80-year-old Yoriichi. So now that we've seen the showcasings of both Yoriichi and Gojo, which one of them embodies the definition of the strongest better? In my opinion, there's only one answer to this question, and it's gotta be Yoriichi. The thing with Yoriichi and Gojo is that there are more statements stating that Gojo is the strongest, but Yoriichi shows it more. And let me explain. Yes, Gojo is stated to be the strongest a bunch of times throughout the story, as I've shown earlier. I didn't even show all of the times Gojo was stated to be the strongest. But when it comes to actually showcasing him to be the strongest, he doesn't really compare to Yoriichi. He got sealed by Kenjaku after being outsmarted. He also had an insanely difficult fight against Sukuna, which he actually did end up losing. Now, you can bring up how it was an unfair fight to Gojo, how Sukuna had prep time, how he had Maharaga, how he had plot armor. That's not the point. The point is, if Gojo truly embodied the definition of the strongest, he would not have lost that fight under any circumstances, no matter what advantages Sukuna had. If Gojo truly was the best representation of the strongest, he would not have lost. And this is something Yoriichi does much better than Gojo. Throughout the entire time we see Yoriichi in Demon Slayer, he is not challenged once by anyone. No one can even step up to him. That is how strong he is. He is the definition of the pinnacle of strength. While fighting the King of Demons, while fighting the strongest Upper Moon, he doesn't even break a single sweat or is damaged at all, because he is in a dimension of his own. That is what being the strongest actually is. If you're getting challenged, if you're losing fights, you are not the strongest. Or at least you are not the best representation of strength. The fact that in Jujutsu Kaisen you can debate about who is stronger between Gojo versus Sukuna already goes to show you that Gojo is not a better representation of strength. Meanwhile, in Demon Slayer, the entire community collectively agrees Yoriichi is the strongest. No one else compares. So Gojo may have the talk of being the strongest, but Yoriichi definitely walks the walk of being the strongest. He has proved multiple times that he's just him. No one can compare. And that's why Yoriichi is the best representation of strength. Anyways, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what other videos you guys want to see in the future. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.